So we've come closer to the green here for a short, floaty, spinning chip/pitch shot, which is something which I can do, but I'm just very inconsistent with it. Again, it's just like fly, not entirely sure where it's going to come out. And if you are watching this at home and you do struggle around the green, this is a type of area where a lot of amateurs are going to be tempted back foot, stab, get it running. So this could add, you know, something pretty important to your arsenal. It's such an important shot, especially somewhere like this, crikey. Talk to me. What are we going to do?
So the complete opposite of what we
Love
just
it.
did.
Absolutely love it.
So over there we wanted to de-loft the club. Here we need to add as much loft as possible.
Yeah.
So forget what I told you earlier with shaft lean and kind of in to out too much. We can still swing a little bit out, but effectively here we're gonna go from having the shaft leaning to being very, very, very neutral and more of an open club face to get that ball to kind of pop up and add as much loft as possible.
Okay.
So here obviously loft is our friend. We want the ball to launch up, and because we don't have enough speed on this shot, we need the launch angle to be higher so we can stop it with height.
Okay.
All right, so so a little bit different. The ball position I like to see kind of up to left heel, and I want the hands to be not too much pushed forward. So right above the golf ball, and then we want to get the club to get back to impact at the same location. So a really good drill I like to do. I'm gonna snitch 2 of your clubs here. So if we take a couple practice swings, set up to if the ball would be right here. I want you to kind of feel that impact that the shaft touch the grip at the same time. So if you lean the shaft too much, get one where you lean the shaft forward too much, at impact you're gonna hit the top grip before the bottom one, right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So we want to hit the grips at the same time with the shaft. So do just a short little move, try to hit them squarely at the same time. Perfect.
Okay.
So we need more of that feel without feeling like we're leaning back too much, right?
I was going to say, do you have a little bit of weight still on that left side?
Absolutely.
As you go, yeah.
Yep. So do that again. So we need more of that feel. Love it. Very, very beautiful. And another thing that a lot of amateurs kind of get wrong is that they set up to a normal pitch shot, especially the high ones, like they do almost with the driver or the irons, where they have too much tilt in the shoulders.
Okay.
You see what I mean? So the angle is too much this way, which is effectively going to cause us to bottom out a little bit too far behind the golf ball, which is death when you hit this shot. So we want the shoulder alignment to be a little bit more neutral.
Okay.
So you have a bunch of lines on your shirt here, right?
Try and get those lined up.
Yeah, there you go.
Love it.
So let's have a go with that, yeah? So let's feel like we're returning this shaft without any lean at impact. The club is a little bit open and the lines on your shirt are more square.
Okay.
And then the swing path can be fairly neutral here.
Okay.
Nice. That was really good there, Pete.
It's an interesting feeling. I think something that a lot of people will struggle to get is that if you think of like most pitching, most coaching really for the last 10 years, at impact, this is something we don't want to see.
Yeah.
We don't want to see that club head overtaking hands. We don't want to see it flipping.
You want to hear that the famous one, maintain the Y, right?
Maintain the Y.
Yeah.
Man. Love it. Love it.
Don't use the hands.
I love a chip and run Y.
Yeah.
Love that action.
So for a stock one that you can launch lower, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But for the high soft one that most players struggle with, when you potentially have a bunker or high rough in front of you, or if you go to the US and you play in Bermuda, you can't really hit that low shot into the Bermuda because it will stop straight away. This is a shot that you need to have. Hit one more here, and I'm going to explain kind of if you feel like you're too handsy, it's really important to kind of use your pivot. But hit one more and I'll explain more about that.
So I love that, the visualization of just hitting those two shafts at the same time.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Good. So that's a good example there where you potentially bottom out a little bit too far behind the golf ball.
Yeah.
So if we go back to Luke Donald, he talks all the time about maintaining the pivot and the rotation through the shot. So if you feel a little bit too handsy, that you're going to see that from a lot of amateurs when they try to start releasing the handle, they stop the pivot and they just kind of throw the club at the ball. Okay, this is gonna make it very easy for you to kind of bottom up behind the golf ball and be inconsistent to where that club lands. So it's important to realize we are releasing the hands, but we still want the hands to kind of be right in the middle of the body throughout the whole shot. So we have to maintain the pivot. So even on a short shot like this, if I hit one,
Good luck with them grips, by the way.
thank you, yeah, they're slightly bigger than normal, you will see me fully rotate through the shot. So even at the finish, I'm fully rotated and even up on my heel.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to only hit it with the hands, I'm letting the club fall, and then I maintain the pivot, and by maintaining that pivot, you can control the low point more. It's gonna move more forward because the body is moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, to be honest, that's the inconsistency I find. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've got relatively good control with my hands, and I can trust them, but it's the inconsistency of that.
Exactly.
And that one that you saw, that kind of it bottomed down. Obviously, the bounce kind of helped me out as it came through the ball.
But you only threw the hands there. You didn't
Precisely.
pivot.
I think a nice feeling at this point is like to get the belt buckle kind of lined up with it, club face pointing back at you.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, give me that rotation on this one. Okay.
Yeah, this is something which I do struggle with a bit.
Yeah. So just focus on the pivot being the engine, not the hands.
Yeah.
Much better.
Wow, look at that. How
Look at
much
that.
that popped up there.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
And you fully rotated.
Yeah.
So it's a great checkpoint for you guys. So like a couple of checkpoints that are really good if you want to be better with pitching. It's obviously setup. The shaft is not too much forward or back. Then in the backswing, we haven't covered that yet, but I will. We want the club head to kind of be pointing straight up towards the sky.
Yeah.
So we don't want the loft to be de-lofted where it's pointing down, okay? So we want that toe to move up, and then we want to make sure that we rotate through, and like Pete said, the toe is still pointing up and the hands are kind of in the middle of your body and you're fully rotated. Yeah. So a really good one, because a lot of amateurs struggle. If you grip the club there and you grip this kind of in this way, just to explain what the club face need to do to be adding loft.
My grip wasn't thick enough.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Okay.
Lovely. So in the backswing, if we imagine that this paddle, it has the same angle as a club face, we want to open that club face, so opening up the paddle, almost like you're trying to shake someone's hands behind you.
Yeah.
This adds loft and allows us to use the bounce. A lot of people struggle with chipping because they suck the club in with a shut face, and if you imagine this paddle being the face, when you swing down now, that's just going to dig into the ground.
Yeah.
But if you have loft, that's coming back beautifully with bounce and loft, and you're going to be able to not dig the club head into the ground, and you're going to be able to get the launch up. So that's a good drill, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Even if you just use like your flat hand, you want to open it up and then maintain it open through the shot.
What's this for?
This is big in the US now, pickleball.
Pickleball.
I think it's similar to paddle back home, right?
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah, but pickleball is like you can move even less. So like tennis is too difficult because you have to move too much, right?
Yeah.
Paddle, you still have to move a little bit. So the Americans invented pickleball. Beautifully. It's almost like ping pong.
Absolutely.
Really fun. Setup looks great. We open up the club face and we let the club release and we rotate through. Beautiful, Pete. Easy game.
Just pops up so easy, that,
Yeah.
doesn't it? It's crazy.
All right, that's the high shot.